This is an interesting journey. I'd like to share it with you. I've never shared any of this before, and this is about my television career. So I wrote a book. It was a little tiny book. It was called Surviving and Settling in New York on a Shoestring. It turns out that that little book was read and liked by some people, and they gave it a nice write-up, and I was invited on the Joe Franklin television show. He was a really unique human being, became a very good friend. He was an icon. He had been on WR for decades. I think he had like a 50-year career there. In any case, watching the show that morning was a top executive producer for ABC and their WABC affiliate in New York. Her name was Alice Fennell. And we had a conversation, and I believe people are really interested in health right now, and we need someone who's young. I was invited to be the health and nutrition guy at WABC. So I went on and talked about health and talked about how we could prevent a lot of diseases like arthritis and cancer and heart disease and asthma, etc., by simply making healthier choices. And it went over very well. And I was on there for years.
Mine, Gary Null, who has been an expert in the field of health long before it became fashionable to become an expert in the field of health. Actually, how long have you been involved in this business?
This is my 21st year.
21st year.
We did our first show together 15 years ago.
That's right. So you've seen almost a revolution in this industry, haven't you?
Everything that was fringe and health food is now mainstream.
Yeah.
Fiber, low cholesterol diets, vitamins.
Yeah.
There was a time when our mothers told us to take a glass of warm milk before going to bed. I don't recommend warm milk because of allergies to dairy. But if you took vitamin B6,
Really?
25 milligrams, magnesium, you know, calcium, magnesium, it was the calcium that was in the milk that is a calming agent. Bologna, salami, pastrami, hot dogs, especially hot dogs, even hamburgers, and for a long time, the meat that went into baby foods had it. And under no circumstances should nitrites ever be used in baby food.
Now, one of the reasons they need so many antibiotics and drugs in meat is because of the overcrowding when they start doing what we call feedlot. Now, I'm a farmer, and I have animals. I don't eat the animals, but I have them more for the aesthetic value.
You don't ever sell your animals?
No, no.
You couldn't. That would you'd
and
be
also,
out of business.
I got chickens that are alive after 15 years. I have chickens that are laying after 4 and 5 years.
In the meat, you're getting protein and B vitamins. In the sugar, you're getting nothing. It is empty calories.
How many people eat this kind of stuff? This is pretty standard fare for a lot of people.
It is, because we've been indoctrinated that this is the right way to start our day.
From there, I was able to get on Johnny Carson.
Have any nutritional problems, gentlemen and ladies? Well, we'll find out. He's written 19 books on nutrition. This is his latest, called Biofeedback, Fasting, and Meditation. Would you welcome Biofeedback, Fasting, and Meditation? Oh. Would you welcome Gary Null?
Use conventional medicines. I'm not saying not to, but use life-sustaining, build up their immune system, and medicine doesn't understand preventive medicine. And let them start to understand that all healing ultimately is natural healing if you stimulate the body to help.
Oh, Gary, go ahead.
Yes, it's been shown that a byproduct, as you correctly say, is impotency, primary impotency from blood pressure and cholesterol-lowering medications. Garlic, raw garlic or odorless garlic, has been able to both lower cholesterol and blood pressure, and to do so with a byproduct of stimulating overall vigor.
Merv Griffin and Mike Douglas and the Today Show. I was everywhere on the media, all because of this one person, Alice Fennell. And just recently I received a letter from her, out of clear blue. It's 50 years. And I'm just very grateful that there have been people in my life that I've been blessed to have who wanted to help in some way and did. So I thank Alice Fennell.
Hi, I'm Gary Null. I'm standing at a clinic, the Gerson Clinic for Cancer Therapy, right outside of Tijuana in Mexico. If you've heard about this therapy and you would if you're in the medical community. You've probably heard that the therapy is quackery.
Starting from square one, what is preventive medicine? How do you know whether or not you're really well? What are the signs? What are the symptoms of wellness? Well, we're going to talk with Dr. Martin Feldman, a leading preventive medicine expert, right after these announcements. Stay with us. Back in a moment.
That is just one of the topics that you'll be seeing on upcoming Gary Null programs, a la 60 Minutes approach to health and nutrition, based upon 22 years of hard-hitting investigative reporting.
In 1998, when Bob Marty of NPR Productions called me and asked me, he said, you want to come over and debate the Surgeon General? I said, okay. I said, when? He said, a couple hours. Someone canceled. I said, okay. Knowing who the Surgeon General was, Jocelyn Elders, I took my new book, which was a big hit, called For Women Only, and I felt that she was doing the best she could, but it wasn't. She wasn't representing the alternative view, just the orthodox view. So instead of going in and trying to win the debate, which I didn't see the point of, I complimented her on several issues, and afterwards she was very grateful. That led then to a call. I get this call, say, "Hey, Null," and he asked me then to do a special. That special became the most successful program in PBS history, How to Live Forever, up to that point.
Now, I'm not promising you can live indefinitely. That would be false. But I am promising you that we have the knowledge, we have the science, we have the wherewithal to stop disease. That I will promise you today. You do not have to be sick. And if your doctor or anyone else tells you that, well, your heart disease is inevitable, high cholesterol is inevitable, they are wrong. We are at the threshold. We have the knowledge to reinvent the genetic sequencing within our body, and we have done it. Many of you have done it naturally. And by the way, that should make people wake up and pay attention, because in this program today, you're going to find out how some of you have given up your medications, reversed your aging process, and done it with ease. You change your diet, you change your attitude, you change your stress levels, and suddenly the years start rolling back and the diseases are not going to be manifested. Disease can only exist where there's conflict. In the absence of conflict, there is bliss, and bliss is where healing occurs. So let's go on our healing journey.
Gary Null is an internationally certified clinical nutritionist and educator. This 3-part anti-aging program helps you repair, rebalance, and rejuvenate your body, mind, and spirit. How to Live Forever begins with rebuilding the body. Now, here's Gary Null.
I'm Gary Null, and we're here today to show you how, yes, it is possible to reverse the aging process naturally without genetic engineering. We're going to look at all this in 3 parts of our program: repairing, rebuilding, rebalancing, and rejuvenating body, mind, and spirit.
We did 2 more.
Gary Null is one of America's leading health and fitness writers and alternative health advocates. This 3-part program will dispel a lot of myths about being a woman, addressing health conditions specific to women, how to embrace your power and beauty, and create the most balanced life possible. Now here's Gary Null.
Hi, I'm Gary Null. What I'd like to do is have all the men right now please leave the room. This program is for women only. Most women I have met in my life are like wonderful, wonderful oasis of beauty and passion and enormous amount of feeling. And yet, because of their conditioning, they're not in the oasis. This program is going to give you the tools you need to make new and powerful choices.
Get healthy now with Gary Null.
I'm Gary Null, and I've been a nutritionist for 25 years. Long before it was the in thing to be, I've always been careful about what I eat, and I've always been a vegetarian. My beliefs on that matter have not changed over the years. But this program is about change. It's about changing your diet, changing your attitude, changing your stress level, and above all, changing the way you feel. In short, head-to-toe healing. On this program, we'll talk about what you put in and on your body and what kind of environment you choose to live in every day. I want to help you change the way you think and feel about yourself, and I want to help empower you to make the changes in your mind, especially on subjects that up till now you thought were sacrosanct, off limits. Now, I didn't come from a family that focused a lot of attention on exercise and eating right. They thought they were doing the right thing. My mother tried to give us what she thought was the right way to eat, the basic 4 food group. It was only later that I began to examine why wasn't anyone in my family, or in fact almost anyone I knew, really healthy. Everybody kind of got sicker the older they got. And I began to question this, even in high school. And then I devoted my life to trying to understand, was it possible to change the way we age, change the way we process illness? And that's what I'm here today to do, to try to let you know that from head to toe, we can reverse disease processes. Now, I'm all for whatever works. So if it's orthodox that works, let's use it. But if it's alternative, let's use it too. Or let's use a combination of both.
I would never have been on PBS if it were not for Bob Marty, one of the most successful fundraising producers ever. So I had 3 monster hits in a row. And I had about maybe 32 other specials on PBS stations that were blockbusters. Bob Marty said, "You broke every record in the history of PBS television on the first play." So I'd made millions upon millions of dollars for PBS. 15 foods that will change your life for the better. They're board-certified physicians who specialize in helping people understand the food-mood connection. Diabetes is at an epidemic level, and it's preventable in most cases.
Cholesterol per se is not the enemy. It's the oxidized cholesterol.
That can make it simple. First, nobody should be eating white sugar. White sugar has no benefit for anybody.
If we're struggling with nutrient deficiencies, symptoms include declining of memory.
I told you right now you have a brain tumor and you have to pack your bags and go to the hospital for brain surgery, you would run right home and do it.
Why aren't we living 120, 130, 150 years in good health?
Single greatest risk factor for death and disease is not smoking, not failing to exercise. It's lack of having a supportive network.
Everyone you touch, engage gracefully.
Why there can be problems with the immune system. One is the standard American diet, your basic fast food, junk food diet.
Most Americans would agree that we are a highly stressed society. Think of the hundreds of thousands of people rushing to get to work. Vitamin E, because vitamin E helps prevent stroke in your animal. In the last 100 years, if you correct for birth deaths, let's say when children died very early in birth, we have only extended the average lifespan in 100 years, 3 years and 7 months.
But I always seem to throw in those things that are not good for me.
And if you don't know what it is and what it does, you won't buy it.
There's been so much research and so much scientific research that supports what practitioners have known for centuries.
Meat kills animals, kills us, and is killing our economies.
The green covering of plant life across the earth is the matrix from which all creatures, including human life, is supported. Plants sustain us with breath and sustenance.
Where did America go from a nation that made it through the Great Depression to a nation that's now moving into the greatest depression in worse shape than it's ever been before?
So that, which was 1998, and right up till today, I've never stopped producing documentaries, writing best-selling books. I was everywhere. I mean, every week I was on television, radio, tours. I did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of television programs, thousands of lectures. Multiple bestsellers. I even had my own imprint with HarperCollins. I had a Gary Null line. I've had a Gary Null line at several companies. Skyhorse publisher offered me my own imprint, and I went with them where I am now. So that gives you an idea that the book publishing helped promote the television appearances. So I've reached a great many people, far more because of the course I've taken. And I stay away from major media. I rarely do interviews, and if I do, it's generally with podcasts and people in the internet or people I respect. And we're the #1 progressive radio station in the world. I have the #1 progressive program. So every day we're reaching out to a lot of people who then share that information with others. All creative people see things before anyone else does, and then they work towards seeing how complete an idea is, whether it's a sculpture or an idea, a movie, and then they reverse it back to what do I need to do to make this happen? Am I in the right place at the right time? Do I have a right support system? Do I have the right idea? Am I the right person? Am I mature enough to make this happen? Am I fluid and flexible? And that's how I got successful. But I know that without Bob Marty, and without Sarah Donut, Alice Fennell, and without Bob Smith helping me get my first radio contract on WMCA, all these other people throughout my life, I wouldn't have had the success that I've had. I feel blessed and honored to have known these great people. Most were older than me. Some were extremely old compared to me, Dr. Emmanuel Revisian, that I ended up getting invited to join in 1970 as a beginning research scientist at the Institute of Applied Biology. Then I wouldn't have become a senior research fellow for 33 years at the Institute of Applied Biology. So let us be appreciative and let us be humbled by the great opportunities we have been given because someone else saw something in us. And maybe they saw something rough that had to be smooth, and maybe they saw something that was trying but was not effortless, and they helped us get to that place on our journey in life. I certainly am appreciative. Thank you all for watching it.